Good morning. I'm Rabbi Boxman. It is Friday, May 22nd, and this is what we have going on in our community this weekend. This evening, we will begin Shabbat together with Shabbat services via live stream on Facebook at 7:30. That is streamed directly from our sanctuary. Please join us. Tomorrow, we'll begin the morning with Torah study via Zoom, followed by Shabbat services via live stream on Facebook Live at 10 a.m. And then we'll conclude Shabbat together with the ceremony of Havdalah, and that's via Zoom and Facebook Live at 8 p.m. On Sunday, we have an exciting concert, a flute recital with Blair Francis. That's on Facebook Live at 4 p.m. And then don't forget on Monday, May 25th, it's the last day to register for our Shavuot cheesecake drive-thru. So if you haven't heard yet, on Thursday, May 28th, between 4 to 6, we are giving out free cheesecakes in honor of the holiday of Shavuot. All we ask is that you pre-register. There's links all over in your emails, on Facebook, on the website. You just need to click and tell us how many cheesecakes you want. It's one per person in your family. And all you need to do is drive up. We will give you a cheesecake and wish you Chag Sameach for the holiday of Shavuot. One reminder is we do ask that you come with masks. If you have gloves, that's even better. We will also, the volunteers, be masked and gloved, and we'll try to do this as safe and as healthy as possible. So please join us for all of these events, and especially join us next Thursday for a really delicious and tasty Shavuot cheesecake drive-thru. All right, so I want to, in the vein of talking about Shavuot and cheesecake, I've had a few questions since we've been advertising this. Is why, Rabbi, do we eat cheesecake? Why do we eat dairy on Shavuot? I have to tell you that there's not a really good reason. In fact, there isn't a single reason. Over the years, many rabbis and scholars have tried to pinpoint a reason because it's not clear at all. It's not even mentioned, the ritual of eating dairy in the Torah. So we've come up with some theories. I want to share 3 of them with you that I think make some sense. And then you can decide which one works for you. So theory number 1, why we eat dairy on Shavuot. On Shavuot, we celebrate the giving of Torah at Mount Sinai. Now, in the Torah, we know that we get the Kosher Laws, right? The laws about how to slaughter meat and which meats and which animals we're allowed to eat. But prior to receiving the Torah, we didn't know, right? We didn't know what we could and what we couldn't eat. And it's not until we receive it that we understand the laws. So some rabbis say the reason we eat dairy is because we don't want to make any mistakes. We didn't know the laws, and so we just stick to what we know, which is dairy. And that then transferred into eating dairy, and for some reason turned into cheesecake, which I'm not going to argue with because it's delicious. Second reason, and this one I actually like a little bit more than that first one, is the Torah is likened to nourishing milk. Okay, so how do you say is a Torah likened to nourishing milk? The Hebrew word for chalav, or the Hebrew word for milk, is chalav, right? And in Hebrew, we often take the letters and assign a numerical value to each of them. So if you take the 3 letters, chet, lamet, bet, and you assign the numbers to them, it comes up to 8 plus 30 plus 2, right? And I'm not a math person, but I'm sure you are. The total is 40, and 40 is the number of the days that Moses spent on Mount Sinai when receiving the Torah. So therefore, we say chalav, the Hebrew word for milk, for dairy, is 40, makes sense. Therefore, we eat dairy on Shavuot. All right, a little bit of a better answer, I think, than that first one. And then the third one I want to share is based on the reading of Song of Songs. It's a book in our biblical canon, and in it says, "Thy lips, O my spouse," talking about God to the people of Israel, the love affair between God and the people of Israel, "drop as the honeycomb, honey and milk are under thy tongue." According to this reading, it's not the lips of the lover that we would physically say the lips, right? But rather the Torah, right? The Torah itself is likened to honey and milk, which is another reason, because this is the holiday that we celebrate the giving of Torah, that we liken Torah, the sweetness of Torah, the gift that we are given, to honey and milk, again, which makes a logical transition to eating cheesecake. Also, commonly eaten on Shavuot is blintzes and other dairy products. So I hope that gives you a little bit of an answer to those questions that have been coming in as to why we eat dairy on Shavuot. None of them is perfect, but they help us understand a little bit more. And you're welcome to come up with your own reasons as well. I wish you a Shabbat Shalom. I hope you'll join us for our cheesecake drive-through. It'll be nice to be able to wave from a distance and wish you Chag Sameach. Take care.